Uh, Thank you, George. It's really a pleasure to be able to participate in an event like this. I know that some of the things that we wanted to talk about was, the ongoing employment, the nature of the critical nature of the energy industry, and then the upside and recovery. And I'm sure that we're going to talk about that. The other people will. I'd like to kind of start with talking about the critical nature of the energy industry, and specifically what that means to this area of Pennsylvania. I think you need to have that background to say, well, then what's going to happen in the future? Pennsylvania is the second largest gas producer in the United States. Now, many of you have heard me say this before. We certainly do not act like it. If we're the second largest gas producer in the United States, we are one of the largest gas producers in the world. Just think about that. Pennsylvania, little old Pennsylvania. And we have, it's over 9,000 producing wells. We have 20% of the U.S. gas production, 32% of the shale production, and 33 of 67 counties have at least one well. I think the last count I saw, we have 25 active rigs here. So it's a huge impact. 65% of the gas that comes out of Pennsylvania comes out of the north central region, and the majority of it out of my district. So I know we have this competition in Pennsylvania between the north central and the southeast. They may drill more holes. Our wells are more productive. There's no question about that. One of the things that we talk about when we talk about the impact that everything has had and what shutdown for the last 2-3 months it will mean, remember, that's going to affect our impact tax. And just a little bit about the impact tax that I think that we need to recognize that the 23rd Senatorial District has received approximately $300 million since 2014 when that act went into effect. And I'll tell you, broken down, that's $111 million went to counties, and about $180 million went to the various municipalities. I can give you a breakdown. Like Bradford County, it received about 117 million. Lycoming 72, Sullivan 9, Susquehanna $93 million, which I know is Cabot's home base for all of the drilling. The impact tax, there's no question about it. The pandemic, we're drilling less wells. And we're not drilling less wells because that there's necessarily been a problem with drilling. As I said, I think early on that it was nice that drilling and pipelines and all that were considered to be essential businesses. But the problem is, if all the other businesses are shut down, where do we sell our product? Who do we sell it to? What do we do? If you stop and think about gas industry on a daily basis, how does it affect us? It affects it, with our heat, clothing. Every piece of clothing that everybody here is wearing at some point went through a process using natural gas. Electricity, our cell phones, our computers, everything that we use. Medicine, fertilizer. I know that I think we'll probably hear more about fertilizer, cooking, transportation, gasoline, chemicals, all these things. And if the economy is shut down, there's no demand for it, and it backs it right back up into the natural gas. What natural gas has done to Pennsylvania is that we changed from an energy importer to an energy exporter. We were exporting LNG, CNG, and most importantly, probably electricity. Just mention an aside, I had the opportunity to take the Environmental Resources and Energy Committee to Valley Forge to see the PJM interchange operation. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. it is one of the things that the PJM people told us is right now Pennsylvania has almost the ideal mix of coal, nuclear, and gas as far as electric production. But the bottom line is that the information I've read is permits for drilling are down about 61% across the country. That affects pipelines, it affects the drilling. Our gas, I know that given the makeup of the way gas is produced in Texas, for example, oil is really the main product there, and methane gas is a byproduct. Our gas is approximately is mostly methane. It's pipeline quality, virtually with take some water vapor out of it. So there's two things that really affect what we can do with our gas. One is the demand, which we said if you close down the whole country, where are we? Close down the whole country, plants are closed. We've had an unusually warm winter. There was a low demand. And then the second thing that really affects us is the infrastructure. And the infrastructure is what is really, in my opinion, really causes us a problem. Pipelines, we can't get our gas to New England where it's really needed. We can't get gas to New England where we need to, and the reason is mainly we can't get a pipeline through New York. Unfortunately, then where New England and New York get gas is they buy it from Europe, or mainly Russia. One of the areas that I would like to mention specifically is about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I guess, the New York DEC and New Jersey DEP rejected a Williams pipeline application to build a new line in New York. That project alone would have supplied Pennsylvania natural gas to Queens, I think Brooklyn, and a part of Long Island. And now, this lack of a pipeline development, what does it do? It just compounds our recovery problems because we can't get the gas to where it needs to go in the United States. We can't get it out of Pennsylvania. I mean, we want to service New England. We can't. I'll tell you one other thing, and this may come up, RGGI. Most of you know what RGGI is. I think that the gas pipeline issue is really reflective of where we're going with RGGI. Those states that don't want us to build pipelines through them, New York and New Jersey, they're the same states that the administration wants to get in bed with as far as the RGGI issue. I can't see getting in bed with them about a regional greenhouse gas initiative when they are not our friends as far as helping with the gas production. That just makes sense to me. I mean, you can kill off one industry by lack of by the lack of pipelines, and we can take out another industry, mainly coal, by the emissions requirements that appear under RGGI. So with that, I'll stop talking about it. I think that there's three things that I think that are critically important in everything that we do. It ties in with the economy, it ties in with the environmental issues, and that is this. You need energy. We have energy, and with energy comes an economy, and then when you get an economy, you can afford to deal with the environment. That's kind of the three interrelated issues that we all face, and whether it's us from legislators or from business-wise or the Chamber of Commerce, those are things which we need to do. I think that the gas industry during the COVID-19 issue has survived very well, but once again, it's demand and infrastructure. That's the touched on in the points where we're hurting.